Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Heather and today I thought it would be fun to talk about my Ecuagenera order that I had placed, I think sometime late fall, early winter, and how it's doing, and give you guys a little update on the reality of imports. And yeah, I have a few that are thriving and doing well and some that are just hanging on to dear life, but in any case, I thought this would be a nice update, and if you like videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and drop a comment down below, and let's get right into it. Alright, so to start off this video, I think we should start with the one plant that I thought was going to give me the most headache, but surprised me, which is this queen right over here. Now mind you, she did have 3 leaves, but it started to yellow and it didn't bring me joy, and she was crisping up. But you know what? She's putting off lots of growth. So as you can see, that's a growth point there. I think you can see on this side. I don't know if you can see because of the glare, but she's putting off new roots. I thought it was going to be a disaster, so much that I had actually asked my friend to babysit her until she started to put off new roots and then give her back to me. But she's been doing pretty well. She's currently in perlite, pumice, and some leca, and yeah, semi-hydro is how I've been acclimating all of my plants. Yeah, mostly semi-hydro, some in moss, but this queen in particular is in semi-hydro. She's doing pretty well. I'm hoping that this baby leaf is gonna be a nice fat leaf like this one, but we will see. And yeah, this one's doing pretty good. I thought it was gonna die and crisp up on me. I haven't had any luck with other queens before, so pretty happy with this one. All right, the next plant that I thought was going to be fairly easy, but it turned out to be a total disaster, was the Philodendron Serpens. Oh my god. So I had actually gotten 2 of them and they were huge. Like, these leaves were really big and I was like, oh, they're gonna thrive and do super well, but wasn't the case. And I think that's just because I had overwatered it before I had left for my one of my conventions, so that was my fault. But this is how it looks now. So I can find a video as to how they look like before. I'll insert it for you, but yeah, this is a disaster. It now currently looks like this. Again, this is in perlite, pumice. Actually, I think it's in ponds. Yeah, it's in ponds and a little bit more perlite, and they are both enclosed in 100% humidity. But not doing anything. This is the reality of imports. This is, I guess, what is that? 3 months later. So yeah, if I can ever get anything growing out of these, that would be great. But Serpents is kind of a dud for me. I didn't think it was gonna be, but it is, and I'm okay with that. Hurts a little bit, but I'm getting over it. Alright, so 2 philodendrons that I was not expecting to do well are these 2 right over here. Now, I believe that these were mislabeled, or at least this one was mislabeled. So when I received this, I was told that both of them are Philodendron Varicosum Amazon Sunset, where, you know, the front is this nice beautiful green and then the back is like a huge party, so you can see that it's nice and red. However, the petioles are very different. This one is hairier, or yeah, this one is just straight up hairy, and this one is smooth. So I'm starting to think that this one is actually the El Chaco, and it was sent to be by mistake, and this one is like the true Varicosum Amazon Sunset. I mean, I could be wrong, but they're both cute, very pretty. This one is currently living in DIY ponds. There's more pumice and perlite in this one, and this one is living in moss and perlite. Now, there's a method to my madness as to why I choose some plants to have moss and some plants to be in semi-hydro. And the reason for being is that some plants that arrive that are kind of more like wet sticks, like this one was, need a little bit more humidity and more love. So I will give it more moss, or I will just put it in moss. And plants that have a fairly good root system that are doing well and giving me growth while sitting in water while it's acclimating, I will move it to semi-hydro, which is why this is in semi-hydro. So I've had luck doing both ways, as you can see, and no luck doing the other way, as you can see from the other two philodendrons. But so far these guys are doing really well. I'm happy. I just kind of wish I knew exactly what I had, but I mean, that's okay. So long as they're thriving and growing, giving me new leaves, I'm happy. Alright, so moving on to these guys over here. Now this is a mess. So these are the Philodendron Luxurians, and they're not doing too hot, I will say that. So this one is now officially a wet stick, and it's giving me this really sad looking leaf. It is living in moss right now, getting 100% humidity. I feel like I'm going to have to migrate this to something else. Maybe just perlite, because it's not doing very much. It's been 4 months now, and this is all you're going to give me? We have a problem. And then I have this one that has a fairly decent leaf over here, but that's just about it. I think it needs to be transitioned over to something else. Like this moss might be too wet for it, because its root system looks pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of sad. And honestly, now that I think about it and I'm looking at them, I have no idea why everybody was so hyped over the Luxurians. I mean, I can see why it can appeal to some people, but I have no idea why it's so expensive and why everybody needed to have one. If anything, I would have bought more of the Amazon Sunset, because it acclimated pretty well when it did acclimate. During shipping, it was a complete disaster. Like, it looked really sad, but it's putting off new leaves and it's doing pretty well. This arrived in a better shape, but this is what I'm left with. Like, it's kind of sad and pathetic, but again, the reality of shipping during the winter time, so just don't do that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to move this over to, I don't know, semi-hydro maybe, or maybe just soil. I think maybe next month I'll move this guy over to soil and move this to perlite to see if it'll do anything and give it 100% humidity. But you'll get an update on me with these two. Alright, so another plant that I received from Ecuagenera is this Philodendron Sideroyaf. Now, when I first received this plant, it was the size of my head, and I was super excited because I thought, oh, it's gonna do so well. But it didn't. It became a wet stick, which was really sad. I think you can see here just how small that wet stick is and what I was working with. I think it's like only ½ an inch, and I put it in soil. I actually find putting wet sticks in soil and putting it in a bag works best for me, and I think that's just because I'm a little bit heavy-handed with the water. So when I use moss, I end up killing the wet stick because it's just too much water. But in any case, this is now thriving and doing well in soil. And yeah, it's doing pretty good. Can't complain. And I do have a true Philodendron Sideroy in my exo tank over here. If you're curious as to what the difference is, go check out one of my earlier videos. I did do a comparison for you so that you know what it is that you have. So another plant that I picked up from Ecuagenera is this Philodendron right over here. I'm not going to try to say its name because I always say it wrong, so I'll just put a caption here for you. But it is currently thriving, putting off a new leaf. I love that it comes out like this peachy pink color, and the petiole is very different. It's just a unique plant. I have another one over here where it put off a new leaf. Super cute leaf. Love that. So this is what the mature leaf looks like and the new leaf. So hopefully this new one is gonna look very cute and very round. And this plant is currently living in moss and perlite. I'm probably gonna have to switch it over to soil sometime next month, but you know, when I'm not so lazy and when this leaf finally comes out and unfurls, I'll do that. Alright, so the last plant that I have to show you is the most expensive plant that I've ever purchased from Ecuagenera, and I don't even know why I did it. I fell for the hype, and I'm glad that the hype is gone and I no longer have the desire to buy new plants. But in any case, it's this Philodendron Luxurian. Now, as you can see, it's starting to put off a new leaf and it's hardening off. I hope that it gets as big as this guy right over here. And you know what? Even the petiole is special. It's actually has 5 sides to it. I think there's only like a handful of anthuriums that actually have like sided petioles, but most of them are round. So this is very unique, very expensive. Alright, so those were all the plants that I have purchased from Ecuagenera, and I will say, and it's just something that I've noticed, that all the plants that I have purchased from Ecuador, whether it be through Ecuagenera or Equiflora, I have noticed that I have a much harder time acclimating my plants. I'm not sure what the deal is. I feel like it's because of the way that they ship it, and it's also because I'm ordering it as like within a group, so like it's through a bulk order. Now I'm finding that when you do bulk orders, the way that they ship is probably like they probably stack the plants on top of each other, so it's more stressful on the plants. Whereas when I'm making a smaller order through Asia, whether it be Indonesia or Thailand, it's not so heavy and it's stacked differently. Maybe, I don't know, but all I know is that these guys have a harder time acclimating, like 3-4 months. Actually, not even 3-4 months. 4 or 5 months is a very long time for me to see new growth. Whereas when I had ordered from Asia, you know, like the acclimating time was only like 2 to 3 weeks. It was in weeks. And then I would be able to move it into soil or whatever medium I wanted, and they would just continue to grow and thrive. So I think it's a combination of when I had placed my order, and if you're doing it as a group order. I find that plants that are done as a group order kind of have more stress just because of the quantity that's pretty much squished into a box to send to us to save on shipping costs. But you know, you just gotta do your research, be patient, and one day they'll just give you a new leaf like this. So that's my 2 cents on my imports through Ecuagenera. I would do an Equiflora review, but there's really not that many plants that had actually survived. I'll have to go through my collection, and if there are any, I'll do another video. But in any case, that's all for today. And if you guys like videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!